Welcome to Managing Fibromyalgia Naturally. My name is Lynanne Galloway, and about 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, but I'm sure like many of you, if you have fibromyalgia and you're listening to this, that you have had symptoms for years and were not diagnosed. And finally, something happens that you finally get diagnosed, or everything else has been explored and they can't find anything, so they give you that diagnosis. So of course, because I'm a registered nurse, I'm retired now, but I of course tried the traditional methods of medication, and unfortunately, I had very severe reactions to some of the medication and ended up in the hospital being watched while they took me off medication. Hence, I had to look at other alternatives. And let me tell you, 20 years ago, looking at other alternatives as a nurse was not a popular thing to do. Anyhow, I fortunately had a doctor who was a Chinese background, and he made some suggestions for me with taking vitamin B complex and doing some meditation with progressive muscle relaxation. Now, interesting is back in those days, doctors were not allowed to recommend vitamins. And he basically said, don't tell anybody I'm telling you this, but I think this will work for you, or at least help, because nothing else, really medications don't work for you or don't work. So hence started my journey on to managing my fibromyalgia naturally. And I'd like to say it's cured, but I know that when I get off my program, I do have issues. So I know that it's managing it. And I don't know about you, but if you're one of these people that when you went and were diagnosed, they kind of give you not a very good look out. They basically told you that things will get worse and there's nothing that, try this medication and I don't know if it'll work and it may not work. And if I want to give you hope that you can make a difference. I have been doing this now for probably 18 years. And I have found that it does work. I was able to get back to work. I worked full time, and I, at the time, I had 3 teenage daughters. And of course, they had lots of places to go to. I had worked full time as an administrator and director of care in a nursing home. My husband had his own business, so I have helped him with that. So I was a busy lady, and I was able to manage. Now, as always, it took a while. Nothing happens overnight, and it took a while for me to get there. So, and I have found that there are basically 4 areas that you need to work on all the time in order to manage your fibromyalgia so that you can enjoy life again. And that is not what we all want to do, be able to do what we want when we want. So one of the first area is diet, looking at what you're eating, because that does make a difference. Making sure that you're not eating, you limit your sugar and limit your processed foods, because they do make a difference. Mindset, how you think. Let me tell you, my first realization that mindset made a difference was when I walked into a support group that I was encouraged to attend because of my diagnosis. And I went to the fibromyalgia support group. And please, I'm not saying anything against them. They're wonderful. They're help people. However, for me, what I did is I walked into that room. I went with a friend who has fibromyalgia. I walked into that room, saw people with walkers, wheelchairs, and they were looking like they were suffering, like I was. So there were people there. I don't know if you do this, but rubbing your hands, because you do it unconsciously, rubbing my shoulders. And I'm looking at this, and this whole room is pretty much doing that. But what really got to me was the wheelchairs and the walkers. And it was like, no, I'm not going there. That's not where I'm going to be. I'm going to find a solution. So I think that probably was one of the things that was a mindset that is, okay, I can find a solution. And it took a while. And I actually was in a wheelchair for a little while, related to an accident. And of course, that contributes to even more symptoms. So yes, I did get out of that, and I did find a solution. So I did find that there are basically four things. So your mindset, your diet, your exercising, or movement does make a difference. Because, you know, I know now, even if I sit in one position for too long, I do get stiff, and I have to get moving, and I don't sleep as well. So as making sure that I do movement every day, I personally like to walk for half an hour. That helps me. That's pretty much, or swim if I have the option of swimming. That actually is the best one for me. And everybody's different. And if you are not doing a lot right now and can't do a lot because of pain, even doing a little bit, and each day just increasing it a little bit, because one thing you do not want to do is to stress your muscles beyond what they can manage. So you want to do it just carefully. And the other thing I found was my environment. I had to look at things in my environment that were contributing to my pain, like certainly lots of chemicals I was having, because I'm a housewife and I'm a nurse, and I was doing lots of disinfecting and all that kind of stuff. I realized that some of that was contributing to my pain. And I did do some serious looking at those kinds of things, as well as even setting boundaries, making sure that I can take good care of me, putting myself, caring for myself first, because if I can't care for me and I can't function, I can't care for anybody else. So those are just a few of the little things that help. And then I do have a Facebook group that I post in every day with some tips that can help you. And it is down below. Also, as if you're in one of those, have come across this and you're struggling and would like some help in that area, I do a group coaching program, and then you contact me for that. I'll put my contact just down below as well. And guess what? Please subscribe so that you can receive notification when I post more videos around tips on managing fibromyalgia naturally, because yes, it can be managed.